I really enjoyed my time at UQ. I guess it's influenced me in lots of different ways, so certainly I feel like it gave me the training that I needed. They gave me a good stepping stone to the rest of my career. More specifically, I guess I actually was at the Rockhampton Rural Clinical School in my third year. And it, along with my first ever GP placement out at Yeppoon, certainly provided a bit of an impetus for me to say, yep, rural GP, that's where I want to be. I remember driving home after my very first rural GP session in Yeppoon, and I'd gotten to, take some blood and cut out a skin lesion and, do all these really cool things. I was like, yes, that's excellent. So that certainly inspired me to do what I do today. And I've also, made some fantastic friends that, I'm still really, really good friends with to today. So, yeah. I do. I have my older brother, Steve. He did mining engineering and business management, but we are, as far as I'm aware, the first people in our family to go to university, so no one before that. I think that most of my really good memories, to be honest, focus around the people that I was with, so, making those really close friendships, because we all, do the same kind of long hours and, experiences are very different to what we've done before. So I think that there's also lots of socialisation that happens through the medical school. Always used to go to all of those. I mean, obviously you do learn a lot, but I think the people really stand out for me. My experience in Rockhampton and Yeppoon really inspired me to be a rural GP. So in my final year of training, I applied to the rural generalist pathway, and I was accepted into that. And so from there, there's a narrower choice of hospitals that you can go to all in rural areas. And I chose Cairns largely because I'd never been to Cairns. It seemed like a fun, adventurous place to go, something different apart from Brisbane. And I've been there ever since, so obviously quite liked it. But yeah, it was really, it set me up well to inspire me to do that in the first place, but then also gave me the skills that were very helpful to, I guess, ace the interview and get the position that I wanted. I think probably the things that I'm proudest most of are the things that I maybe didn't think that I could do, or I was really sort of intimidated by. So last year I did my advanced skill year, which is part of my rural GP training through ACRM, and I did adult internal medicine. So essentially was a medical registrar for a year, which always seemed like a terrifying, really, really scary, huge thing that only the smart people do. But I applied for it and I got it and I did it and I survived and actually had a really good time doing it. And then at the start of this year I did 6 months of emergency, which again was something, in a small rural hospital where you're the only doctor, there overnight, and that's, a really scary thing. And I started on nights, so that's always a fun introduction. But you come out the other side of it and you go, yeah, I did that and I did well at it. So that, that's always a really encouraging thing to do. So I guess professionally at the moment, those are the things I'm most proud of. Personally, I don't know. I met my long-term partner when I moved up to Cairns. We've been together 4 years now, so that's pretty great, and made some really good friends and had some great adventures up there. So I guess I'm not one of those people who knew they wanted to be a doctor from when they were, 4 years old at all. That wasn't, I floated around lots and lots and lots of different careers that, I potentially could have been good at and could have enjoyed, and I still think there are lots of careers that I could have really enjoyed, but I kind of just stumbled upon medicine as an option in high school. My grades were good and it was put forward. I'm like, oh yeah, that seems like a fun thing to do, lots of opportunities to do different things, and I think that once you get into it you just get sucked in. The variety and the intellectual challenge, and you get to meet so many interesting people. So that's medicine in general, I suppose. Rural medicine more specifically, I'm rural myself, so I was born in Barcaldine and raised on a sheep farm out near Boland. No one's ever heard of Boland. Did boarding school in Toowoomba and then trained in Brisbane, so I always knew that I wanted to go back to rural areas because I've seen the challenges that are faced by some of those rural and very, very remote areas, and not everyone wants to or I guess, has the capacity to work in those areas, and I knew that I could, and that I really enjoy them. So it's always kind of been in the back of my mind, and then getting more experience in rural areas, I guess, just solidified that, yeah, it's really interesting and fulfilling work. I think just open yourself up to lots of experiences and things that you might not even necessarily think that you can do or are qualified enough for. As I said, they've been some of the best things that I've done. Moving to Cairns, I didn't know anyone, didn't move up with anyone, and it's been, arguably the best decision I've made personally and professionally. Apply for that skill that you don't think you can do that elective. That sounds a bit scary and challenging because it really you meet people that will potentially open ways for you in the future, and yeah, just go for it. I guess the only other thing would be, if you really want something, sometimes training pathways or hospitals will throw challenges towards you. You don't get the rotation that you need, or you miss the deadline for this. But medicine's a long career, and there's always a way around it, and there are always people that will help you. So if you really want something, stick to it and ask for help, and you'll get there in the end. I guess the only other thing I'd say for medical students or potential medical students watching it is, like I said, the people that you work with and the people that you study with, they make everything so much better and more fulfilling. And even though in medical school, I know it's very overwhelming and intimidating, and there's so much to learn and so much to do, but get out there, go to the pub, go to the mixer, you meet people who honestly become, lifelong friends. And they not only are wonderful, but they also can be helpful, because we'll all be colleagues sooner or later, and medicine is a smaller world than you think, so making those connections can actually be really, really helpful later on, and it just makes things much more bearable. So get out there, make friends, give yourself a break, go be a medical student every so often. You don't have to work all the time.